Welcome, my beautiful souls, and welcome to Libra's reading for 2026. This will be for Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Many of you are intuitively guided, and your guides and I thank you for paying attention to your intuition. And I know some of you are in love with the Libra, and same thing, just keep your intuition open because your guides know that. Your guides know you're here. Matter of fact, I did pick up a channeled message um, for this month, and this is what I received. December comes like a cosmic, really a quiet cosmic verdict. The scales start to shift. A truth surfaces about someone, or someone's energy starts moving towards you. This month, the universe is pulling you into alignment um, with what is meant for you and away from what has drained you. So, if you feel that things are like fading away, this is the month to let them. Try to let them, especially if you feel it's drained your energy. So let's see why December really feels so faded for you. And we'll go to the cards for that, but our spirit guides will be with us during all of this. So we will give Mother Mary the honor of opening up the reading. I'm going to use the crystal vision. Um, I always say maybe because we're going to do an actual spread, and it's called the Celtic Cross. I don't know if I did it for you last time, um, but we're going to do it. And for the main spread, we're going to use the Universal Tarot. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the lid down, not a whole lot. And let's go ahead and slide my coffee over. Okay, grab a drink. All right. So just take a moment, quiet your mind, grab a cup of coffee or tea. Just let your intuition receive. Just let your intuition receive. All right, we're going to start with Mother Mary. All of a sudden, I feel like talking quiet, like I'm in a library. Some of you may be in a library. That would be interesting. Someone is watching from a library because I feel like I got my library voice on. All right, Mother Mary. I do want to give a shout out to my nephew, Sean, who opens up the Libra season on September 24th. And his mom, my sister, Tracy, October 15th, she has crossed over. And my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful granddaughter, Lily, is October 14th. Mm, it's action time, Libra. It's go time. Today, I take action related to the priorities that I have previously put off. See if anything else wants to come out. I just knew something else wanted to come out. Home, home. I trust and follow my divine guidance about my home. So, action and home. Today, I take action related to the priorities that I have previously put off. And I'm picking up for some of you. I feel like for some of you, like this is, it's like, what am I trying to say? Like, I feel like a writer who is finally finishing that final chapter. I feel like those who have been I feel like you've been collecting information to start a business like this, and maybe it is out of your home. This is probably the perfect time. Or let's say January may be the perfect time. So this month, it's just really truly getting you ready. So action for some, it could be making plans, putting things on paper. So let's put them over here. And I like giving them a crystal. All right. So the main spread, again, is called the Celtic Cross. And by the way, I want you to know everything is always pre-shuffled. This is really where I'm picking up like some psychic messages for you. It's when I'm just tuning in. But I do like to give them a shuffle with you here also, especially when we take from the top. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and lay down the positions and I'll tell you what each one means. So number one is the present situation. What's going on right now? What maybe needs change? We'll see. We'll just see. Number two, what crosses that? So that could be something that, it could be like external influences that are coming in the way, or it could be something that's supporting it. Whatever it may be, we shall see. Number three is the subconscious mind, but I call it the root. I feel like it's the root of everything. Number four, the past. Number five, your conscious mind. These are the things you are aware of or will be becoming aware of. Usually it pulls back to number one. Okay, next is you. Everything we need to, oh no, I'm sorry. Next is your near future. And, it does mirror the past. And this card, I just realized, like I didn't just realize it, I realized in the last reading, like it looks like the bridge that connects the past to the present. But when I say connects the past to the present, that could be a good thing or that could be, something we need to look at. But anyways, now we're going to talk you. This is all about you. Anything we need to know. Next are external influences. I'm doing this kind of quick. Just because I don't like to reveal the cards. I like revealing them once we're on that subject. This is your fears or your hopes. And then number 10 is what we call the potential future outcome. I say potential because you have free will. Your guides know that. I know that. And get my coffee off the table. I have a little desk beside my desk and it is filled with tarot cards and just it's filled. All right. So, why am I feeling that December, I'm just going to say, is a cosmic month for you? Let's see. Let's start with the first one, which is present situation. Interesting, your major arcana. Your major arcana. So, balance. What's fair and just. And it's interesting because your guides were talking about like some energy that's going to fade, but meant to, but also energy that's also coming in and meant to. So this may be asking you to try to find as much balance as you can right now. This can relate to the law, can relate to karmic ties. But I really feel like your major arcana, when it shows in a reading, it's about making whoever I'm reading for whole again. So what's fair and just in your life? Interesting. You're the first one who got the major arcana under the present situation. And then we have the Page of Swords that crosses that. For some of you, this could be your voice. Like, for some, I feel like learning to speak up. But when you speak up, I feel like you're speaking the truth. And just like I felt, your guides were saying, like, truth is coming to light. Well, this may be what's bringing it to light. I feel like with the page, it talks about something we're learning. So swords would be communication, but truth. And it can also be what's in the atmosphere. So can be a person. But if it is a person, it would be someone that you knew. You're like back in the day type of energy. Um, I'm definitely picking up though, like this is your cosmic truth. And I get this sense of like, I know who I am. I know my voice now. And now I'm going to use it. And maybe you didn't before. But now all of a sudden, and by the way, I feel like your guides are putting this within me. Like now you're using it. And I want to say also, when I say you're using your voice, some of you, you're using it as a talent. So you may have a great speaking voice, like you could be a great podcaster, or you may have a great singing voice. I just feel like your voice is being called upon. Okay, let's look at the unconscious, but what I call the root. King of Swords. He looks mad. What's up with that? He looks angry or impatient, maybe. This could be you. Could be another Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. And by the way, I know some people, like I get comments a lot like, oh, how do I know? This is why you want your intuition to be activated during a reading. Your intuition will let you know. But it'll also be revealed in the reading. Some of you, I feel like this is you becoming this king, male or female, by the way. And boy, I feel the power behind this king. I feel a little restlessness behind him also, though. Like I'm restless, maybe to communicate. Um, I don't know. Like part of me feels like he's being a little aggressive, like he has that look about him. Hmm. All right, well, let's keep going. And, the crystal vision will tell us more. Let's look at the past. Huh, the Nine of Pentacles. Well, that's a good thing. Do you know what? And I feel like for some of you, this is what you've been working towards. This is what you've been working towards. This to me feels like, again, the importance of your voice, and I feel balance. But then I feel like some of you are going to start, like, let's say you've already started like a project or maybe a business. Some of you may start seeing the fruits of your labor. And I feel the more that you trust within your own voice, your authentic self, um, the more I feel like you reap the benefits of that. So I feel like this month is calling for you to be your true self. Like you don't have to hide behind a mask or a facade. And I also want to say, you know, I get the sense that there's someone out there who said, I tried to begin something and it didn't turn out the way I thought. And I have a feeling you may have just stopped. But here's the thing. I feel like what your guides want you to know is just because something didn't work out doesn't mean you should scrap everything, because I feel like it's something that you may have planned, but yet doesn't feel like it worked out to your favor. Um, and this is a very independent energy. For some of you, it could talk about you may be single here, but independent at the same time. That means that you have the ability to truly create success for yourself. It's just really deciding like where you want to focus your energy. And even in the Nine of Pentacles, really the meaning of that card is successful self-employment. I feel like it's anything that you focus on is what you will grow. So it doesn't have to be self-employment. Now, some of you could have lost a job. I feel like whatever has been taken, so to speak, will be replaced, but with something new and something better. Like I feel something new and shiny. Hmm. All right. And by the way, a 9. And we're in the universal year 9, and I know you know that. But literally, this is the last month. By the way, December is a 3-month, so it really is meant for joy, celebration, optimism, gratitude, all of that. But it's a tough month for a lot of people too. I know that. I know that. Or do I know that? All right. Well, let's look at the conscious mind. Wow, wow, wow. Hello, Knight of Cups. An unexpected cup of fulfillment. Wow, exactly what I channeled. Someone's energy starts moving towards you. This is meant to make you happy. Does it have to be love? No, it doesn't have to be love. But it is fulfillment. And I do feel like every night will complete their mission. So I feel like this night is meant to bring in this cup. So this cup will come in, but then you'll decide. And it's interesting because it's falling under your conscious mind, yet this is unexpected. So some of you may start feeling this energy before it arrives. Interesting. He's looking right over at the final outcome. So we'll see. But let's go to the near future, which we will be following that Knight of Cups. 7 of Wands. Interesting. This is about standing your ground. Why? Why are they standing their ground here? Okay, so this will be the period of time, and again, we're still in December, where I feel like this is when you are really deciding, just like Spirit put in my mind, that again, the things that have drained you. I feel like if it's drained you, don't fight for it. Let it go. But I have to tell you also something else I'm picking up though. I feel like some of the things that you have learned, let's just say throughout your life, but maybe in this last 9 years, was, and it makes sense with you being Libra, which is about justice. I feel like many of you, boy, this may be what some of you, and look at that, the page of swords connecting this. So some of you, I could see you being very happy helping others. Like and I do feel like money definitely follows that. So it does feel like a business, but I feel like you're taking your experiences, especially the things that you've gone through that were hard, but you have accomplished. or you've overcome. And now I feel like you're taking that and you're helping others. It is like you're becoming the natural healer, or that natural healing ability within you is now coming to the surface. But coming to the surface for a reason. You have a lot of spiritual wisdom, is what I'm hearing. You have a lot of spiritual wisdom. Okay, let's look at you. And the reason why I bring the crystal vision in is because this spread goes so fast. And you know me, I like more clarity. Like we're gonna figure out what all these are. But let's look at you. Page of Cups. Tender. That's the first thing I feel. Tender. Interesting, we have 2 pages. And I do feel for some of you that someone will be coming towards you. You know what else is interesting? We have the Knight of Cups. He's bringing in a cup. And look what you're holding. A cup. This may be something that is very soothing to the inner child. I have a feeling it's soulmate energy because I am feeling, I do feel like soulmates, unless it's karmic, karmic is really holding a mirror up. But here, I feel like this is more about the gentleness. So some of you may be falling in love, but it may be like a gentle type of love. Okay? Let's look at the external factors in your life right now. Oh, 7 of Swords. Well, I have a feeling this is not what I want to bring along. Hopefully, this is what's fading away. And I'll tell you why. 7 of Swords, number one, well, they call it the thief in the night. This is someone who takes more than their fair share. I often feel like this person grew up like in a family where there wasn't a lot. And they weren't the type that, like if their sister was still hungry and they still had food on their plate, they weren't the type to give their sister food. No, they would hoard it. Interesting. And I feel like if that energy followed them into their adult life. And, here's the thing. I feel like if someone is saying, or you have said to yourself, I can help fix that within them. Spirit saying, no, it's not your job. You can't. And the reason it's not that you can't. I don't feel like it would be accepted. So I don't feel like this person is looking for help. Quite the opposite. This is someone I can't help but feel lies a lot. And I feel they lie because they don't want to face the consequences of their own actions. So this is probably what has drained you. Because remember, that's what Spirit told me. You have energy moving towards you, but it is, well, much more gentle, just like I felt here. But then you also have this energy that's draining you. I don't know how it couldn't be the 7 of Swords. Okay, let's look at your hopes and your fears. The Hangman. So some of you are seeking wisdom right now. Wisdom on your next steps. What do I do? Do I stay? Do I go? And by the way, this is spiritual wisdom on whatever you're seeking, and it's not a one-time thing. Though I do feel like the Hangman, when they receive like this wisdom, um, it's probably much more wisdom than you even expected because it can signify a spiritual awakening. Now, if some of you are having a spiritual awakening, it would make sense that the Seven of Swords energy just would not fit, right? Because that is what I'd call a lower vibrational energy. And I'm not really putting them down. I'm just saying this is the energy they choose to live in, where I feel like you are choosing a higher path, and therefore what comes in would be of that same vibration. All right, let's look at the final outcome. Look at you in a question mode. And I get why you're in a question mode, because if we look what's mirroring it, this is you holding that cup that Knight of Cups is bringing in. So you're holding it. So some of you, I feel like you're saying yes right away. But even Spirit said this is not about like jumping the gun. This is about just slowly and gently moving into it. I don't feel like you have anything to fear. But I feel like the Two of Pentacles is saying, but the ball will be put in your court. And it is what is mirroring the Knight of Cups. So that tells me a couple different things. Number one, that this is about energy that's coming towards you. And I feel like it's also telling us why. I feel like many of you, you've been seeking spiritual wisdom, and I feel like you've been receiving it. And I feel like it's naturally raising your vibration. So again, the energy that drains you is what wants to fade away. But then someone's energy starts moving towards you. And remember, this month, the universe is pulling you into alignment and really with what is meant to be and what has drained you. So that makes perfect sense that your major arcana, justice, would be under the present moment. So if you're feeling unbalanced, which, that's something you want to realize having justice as your major arcana, it is about balance. And it is about learning to use the sword of justice to cut ties to, let's just say, what drains you, whether it be energetic ties or physical ties or both. All right, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Tower. Okay, so something came to completion, or something is coming to completion. Four swords underneath that. You know what it feels like? It feels like your soul is healing. And that tower, you're giving that tower. So you're telling someone or something that it has now come to completion. It's kind of beautiful because I feel like you're stepping into the Fool's energy, which means I feel like, and I hope, like you're starting to feel excited. And some of you may be like, I don't know why I'm feeling this, but I feel it. Wow. It's your spirit guides. They want you to feel it. And I don't feel like your spirit guides are saying, we're telling you to give this person a tower or this situation a tower. I feel like it's just naturally going to come to you. Like some of you are just like, I've had enough. I've had enough. And I wouldn't be surprised if this energy also affected your ability to make money. And why would that be? Because I feel, again, because they drained you. And then I feel like that I feel like that energy because you're such a creative sign, it may have shut down your creative house for a little while. But get rid of what drains you, and I feel like everything else will just work out. But easy to say that. Let's go into the crystal vision. You know, it's funny because I often think when I do this spread, like I could, like a lot of people, a lot of tarot readers would just end it right there. And that would give you a nice short reading. But my Virgo mind wants to go deeper. I want to give you as much advice, clarity, as our guides will allow us to have. So we're going to start by looking at your major arcana, the present moment, but keeping the Page of Swords also in mind. Well, that didn't take long. Look at this. Okay, 5 of, I want to make sure my deck wasn't flipped around. Hello, drama. This in the upright, drama, fighting, ego. Some of you may got pulled into this drama. And if it's with the 7 of Swords, it's so hard not to. Right? Because they're great at creating drama. But that drama they create is a reflection, or not a reflection, a deflection from what's actually happening. So they pull you into this drama to deflect the truth. But this month, the truth is coming to you. And that's that. And I know that. Like, I trust that. Your guides told me that. And that is why this is turned around. No more drama. No more fighting. You know, it is the number 5. So 5s do ask for change. And here you are, giving it the change it's asking for. It's just saying, don't allow, drama-filled people to pull you into their drama. It's their drama. And many times, again, it's because they're deflecting. But I feel like you know that now. You know that now. Look at that. That was interesting the way this card just flipped around in the deck. Just the way it was interesting. So now we have the 5 of Swords. Well, 2 5s back to back. This 5 in reverse, which is exactly where I'd want it, right? No more drama. Like, well, I feel like I could title your reading, No More Drama. And then the 5 of Swords. This means that you've had the realization of what has been toxic to your own energy. This can be a person or a situation, or it can be many different things. She's got 2 swords in her back. Person walking away feels like the person of the 7 of Swords. But they're the ones who put it in your back. But this is the realization of who and what is toxic, who and what is holding me back, maybe from my dreams, the way I see my life. So, change, I feel like you're giving that change. Again, for some of you, you may have already cut the ties, and this may say energetically, it's still kind of hanging on. And I get it, because if there's someone new moving in, then let's just call the person who drained you has got to move out. And it doesn't have to literally mean they're living in your house or what have you, but I feel that for a few of you. I love that you just got 2 5s. And, you know, like even Spirit said, the truth is going to be revealed this month. Well, that's what the Five of Swords is doing. It's revealing the truth, right? It's letting you know, number one, don't put the blame on you, right? You were dealing with some type of toxic energy. And, you know, sometimes there's a lesson in that. And the lesson is, well, if they're draining your energy, then you got to let them go. You got to let it fade away. Because I have a feeling it wanted to fade away. And I don't mean them, but I feel like it was starting to fade away and then it may have got pulled back in again. But even if that's the case, I feel like now, today, I feel like you're sitting here with clarity. You know, even if you're still connected to someone who's carrying toxic energy, I feel like your mind, your heart is thinking outside of that energy. Okay, let's pick these up. And now I want to look at the Page of Swords. You know, and many times I already know what it means. So when I clarify, I really do it for you. But I do for my own curiosity also. Look at this, the star. Your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. And baby, this is about manifesting them. Like, if you've been wishing for that Knight of Cups, well, let's just say, put it this way. If you feel like you are in a balanced state, then the timing is right. The energy is right. Like, I do feel like someone, you know, though we do have to take our own responsibility within it. And the responsibility, I feel, is like maybe like I allowed my dreams to kind of fade, you know, for another or because of another. But this is you reclaiming those dreams, reclaiming those wishes. And I feel like it's clear. Like I feel you're clear about what it is you want, how you want your life to look. That's kind of beautiful. And you know what I love? It's not only showing the Knight of Cups, which is that unexpected cup of fulfillment that will put the ball in your court, but I also feel it's also about the Nine of Pentacles, your money. Like, I feel like your intuition is going to be, it's already activated, but I feel like it's going to be clearer than ever. Like the steps to get from here to there. There must be a lot of clearing going on also, because I feel like your wishes coming out so quickly makes me feel like you're much more ready um, than maybe I've given you credit for. Okay, well, let's keep the star out for a second. And let's go down to this King of Swords. You know, he is mirroring the Knight of Cups. And he does sit at the root. We have the Queen of Wands in reverse. Interesting. I feel like a card just flipped around. Nope. What the heck? My cards are like having a hard time shuffling. All right. Seven of Wands. The Hermit. Three of Wands, and the Eight of Cups. So, I have to say, the first thing I felt when I put this Queen down, this is someone who's not playing. This is someone who's not interested. I feel like this is you. And I feel like this is, and I know it's Wands. I know that. I still feel like it's you though. And I feel like what it's saying is you're not playing along. So this King of Swords, I don't feel like it's you. I feel like it may be who the Seven of Swords is. It may be the root of the issue. And I feel like this is you checking out. Because normally, the Queen of Wands is very passionate, right? Easily shows her passion, but not here. She shut it down. And look what comes out with it, the Seven of Wands. Another seven, by the way, 3 sevens. And why? The Hermit, the reflection. Like, honestly, we're in the year of the Hermit. This is the final year of this 9-year cycle. And then we start a whole new 9 years. It's a clean slate. Feel like you know it. You've been thinking about it. You've been reflecting upon it. I feel like your spirituality has been growing. I mean, if you look at this Hermit, he's sitting on the ledge like the Fool, right? But his beacon of light is being shown outwardly. Or shined. What's the word? But anyway, it's like that natural healing ability within you. And that's what I felt here. It's just part of who you are now. So this tells me you've done some real reflection and you're making some real decisions. And let's go next. The Three of Wands. Optimism. Excited for the future, even though I don't know what the future holds. But, because I feel like you're gaining all this spiritual wisdom, then you know that you just merely need to plant those seeds. Some of you are planting a seed of love, and it's showing. Some of you are planting a seed for money, and it's showing. But I wouldn't be surprised if you get both, for those who are seeking that. So this is putting your intentions out into the universe and then just trusting in divine timing. And then last but not least, the Eight of Cups. So I know you're walking away from this person. I know this person has affected your emotional house in some way. So that tells me they were probably someone that you loved or wanted to love, But I don't feel like you're doing it anymore because I feel like what you're doing is giving yourself a new beginning. And this person, you're walking towards the Nine of Cups, inner harmony. That's why we have the Three of Wands. That's definitely inner harmony. But it's also fulfillment of wishes. Wow. Hello, wishes. So, sorry, King, but I don't feel like you're staying. No way. There's just no way. Someone is not feeling passionate about this person anyway. Certainly could have been in love, like a love situation. But let's face it, it just didn't. It just doesn't feel like it. It feels like you deserve so much more. Some of you, this is old energy that you are now clearing. And it literally is giving you a new beginning. And you know what else is great? With the Hermit's energy, because we are in the final month of this 9-year cycle, What is draining you literally is leaving. Well, you're leaving it, or it's leaving, however it happens. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at the past. I kind of want to just keep the star out because I definitely feel its energy. So we'll just put the star right over that. So let's look at the Nine of Pentacles, which is in your past. It is interesting that it's a nine. Some of you, what you've been doing, maybe for the last 9 years, is coming to an end and you're doing something new. You know, there's this little birdie that's whispering in her ear, and I feel like it's your guides showing you or talking to you about, new directions or new avenues that you may be able to add into an existing business. And here's the thing, I feel like when you allow what drains you to fade away, well, you have this whole new energy within you. So they may have affected your creative house. Something has affected your creative house, but look what just awakened the Hangman. Look at that. That, my friends, is a spiritual awakening. It's not an overnight process. I feel like what this is saying for you is the last 9 year cycle was about your spirituality, was about your intuition, was about your connection to your guides and hearing their guidance clearly. Doesn't mean you hear it in your like words, but the signs become so clear. Listen, in a spiritual awakening, again, a process, right? It's the beginning. And I feel the first thing with this, like if I claim that I'm having a spiritual awakening, number one has to be truth, our truth, right? I have to be living my authentics, or I want to be living my authentic life. So something was making you feel, well, less than, but not any longer. Like I feel the growth. And good luck, Seven of Swords, up against Libra, who's having a spiritual awakening. No way can the two live in the same house together. It just can't happen. I mean, it can happen, but I feel like as you are awakening and the truth is revealed, then I feel like then the truth is revealed and I start taking action and using that sword. Because remember, your major arcana is the present situation. So using that sword, and literally, I feel like it's just whatever's draining you. Who's ever draining you? I feel like we have a new Libra. There's a new Libra in town. All right. That's beautiful. Because here you are seeking this wisdom and you're receiving it. And I feel like what your spirit guides are also saying is because you now have this spiritual truth, as this night comes in, there should be less and less fear. And one of the main reasons is because you realize that this cup comes in. I feel like you're accepting it, but it doesn't mean, like, I feel like you're looking at it differently, which is a good thing. Because this is what our spirit guides tell me all the time. It is not about the final outcome, it's about the journey. You don't want to miss the journey. The journey is where the adventure lies. Okay, let's go up and look at that night. The Six of Pentacles, the Fool, the Knight of Wands, Passion. Oh my gosh. Seven of Pentacles. It was meant to happen. Seven of Pentacles to me is your tree of life. Can I tell you, Libra? I feel like these seeds, this love, this fulfillment, I feel like the seeds have already been planted. And this is about them now coming to fruition. That's why we're seeing the star beforehand. It is like a wish coming true, but it may be a wish you didn't even know you had. It's almost like your soul planted these seeds. For some of you, I have a feeling it's talking about, well, I know it's a soulmate. I know that because the Seven of Pentacles is your tree of life. These are your soul seeds of intention. And you jumping into the Fool's energy. And that is probably why I noticed, I don't know where the Hermit, I must have picked it up, but the Hermit was sitting on the ledge, as is the Fool. So I feel like what this is saying is don't be afraid. You know, love can be scary. We all know that. The Fool, well, really, it's not just the Fool. It's the spiritual wisdom you have gained to this point because the learning will continue. You will continue to evolve. But this is allowing yourself to take a leap of faith. And I feel like your soul has been calling for this anyway. And then you have the Six of Pentacles there. Well, that talks about that equal give and take. Well, I feel like some of you, you're used to giving, but you're not used to receiving. Well, get ready because then comes the Knight of Wands, passion, desire, action. Mother Mary, action. Some of you, it may be coming right to your home. You know, whether we do have some swords out, so it could be through communication. This is something new, even if it's old. And what I mean by that is there may be something very familiar about this person because I just have a feeling. I know that you're soulmates. I knew that we were going to talk about soulmates before we went into your reading. So I know this is a soulmate. And I feel like the gentleness, like, don't forget that part of it. Um, Sorry, my phone just rang. So here we go. Here we go. And so it begins. You know, I feel like not only do I feel like there's a real gentleness with this energy, I definitely feel there's passion. And I feel like you're meant to feel that passion. And you may start to feel something like, oh, I just, like I want to take you back to the Three of Wands. And that's when you're in the present moment. but you're trusting in divine timing, right? You're putting those intentions out there and then just trusting that in their right time, they come to fruition. Well, this feels like the right time. And I want you to understand also how it's happening. Look who had to go first, right? The Seven of Swords. Energy I can't trust anyway. I definitely feel energy that like affected your creativity. But now I feel like you're back, baby. And that's why I feel like some of you already cleared this energy and you're about to see, well, the fruits of your labor. And when I say the fruits of your labor, I also mean your spiritual growth. So some of you, you're about to fall in love. And it's just meant to be. Seven of Pentacles, that's exactly what it means. It's meant to be. Seven of Pentacles its first message is patience. But listen, sometimes I feel like the universe is being patient with us because someone is draining your energy. And I feel like it's a must that that goes first because the two just can't coexist. And this is not about holding you back. It's the opposite of that. It's like your soul's dreams are now becoming your life, if you so choose. But I also love the Six of Pentacles with that. Um, and I feel like it's telling us a couple different things. Number one, for those who easily give, but haven't been receiving, well, get ready because this is balanced. That means the giving and receiving aspects are also balanced. You have to allow yourself to receive. Sometimes like it's easier to give, and we do have to learn to allow ourselves to receive without putting blocks and walls in front of it. And that's what the Fool's like. Just take a step. It's just a step. And then decide. And then decide. And I'm saying you decide because we end up with the ball in your court. Okay, let's keep going. Um, I don't even need to look at the Seven of Wands because I know what that is. So I want to come right down to you and you being represented by the Page of Cups. By the way, the Page of Cups is usually your inner child. And that means that you're letting your inner child out, that playfulness. It's probably calling for that also. Like think of like when you were younger, um, before the world got to us, we were unencumbered, right? Anything made us excited. We wanted to play, have fun. Well, that's what's being called for again. So this doesn't feel like a serious month at all. All right. But anyway, see what else we can add to that. Interesting. The devil. Card of Capricorn. And for some of you, that's literally what it means. Now, the devil talks about temptations. It is also, what I feel like for a lot of you? I feel like this is more about balance of the light and dark within yourself. I feel like some of you are having a realization that you were pulled into a certain energy or tempted into a certain energy. Like the Seven of Swords, I often feel like it's a narcissist. Doesn't have to be, but I do feel that a lot with them. And I have to say, they're very good at pulling you in, making you believe the world and it's your love is going to be everything. And then so you do, and then they end up showing you nothing, quite the opposite. So I feel like that's part of what you're realizing. So if this is not a Capricorn for you, then I feel like that's what you're realizing. And listen, it can signify that someone you let go of trying to trying to come back again. And that could be like a little karmic test. Like, did you really overcome that energy? But I want to see what else comes out with. Wow. All face up. The Two of Swords. Okay. The Six of Cups. Hello, lovers. And then hello, world. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to take these and I'm actually going to move them over here so I can spread them out for you. But this is the Page of Cups energy, which is you. It's falling under you, and it's really speaking to your inner child, but that playful part of you. So here's what I feel is going to happen. I feel like the lovers of someone new that's coming in. Um, I definitely feel the connection, the passion, all of that. Some of you, I feel like you either know who this person is, so it could be someone, that may be why we're seeing pages, someone from back in the day. But let me say this. I feel like if that's the case, it's someone that you want to manifest. That's not the right way of saying it. It's someone that you would invite back into your life again. And I feel like it's also connected to that Knight of Wands that we saw earlier. So the world is signifying the completion of one thing in the beginning of something new. With a tower, that's completion. But is it? Because I feel like for some, this person appears again, or this situation appears again. But I feel like it's only, and I know in a way this sounds mean, like, why is the universe testing me? Well, let's say that you are having this spiritual awakening. This could be that little test. Because again, this energy of the Seven of Swords can't live in the same house as someone who's having a spiritual awakening. And I keep saying having because I want you to understand it's not an overnight, like I don't just wake up one day. It's like, oh, baby, I just had a spiritual awakening. It's beginning. It's the truth. It's it's the undeniable. It's what your soul knows. It's what you know without knowing how you know it, but you know it. So I feel like this is one final little test. And, I don't love that there's a blindfold on, but I have to say, it's not the Eight of Swords, it's the Two of Swords. And to me, the Two of Swords sometimes is natural energy. You know, like I meet someone and I get butterflies. Well, I would put that in the Two of Swords energy. Now, it can be more serious than that because sometimes it's about not wanting to face something, not wanting to face the truth. And that may have been the case, but I'm not feeling that now. I feel many of you are facing the truth, but I wouldn't be surprised because I feel like if this is like narcissistic type energy, it's the type of energy where it's like, I'm not going to make your life happy, but I'll be damned if I want someone else to make your life happy. Well, you're like, power, boom. The world is like supporting that, telling you this energy has come to completion. You don't have to deal with it anymore unless you choose. The world's energy, the most spiritual time in your life. No wonder you're having a spiritual awakening. And no wonder these lovers are coming in. This isn't just any old love. Some of you could be a twin flame. Though don't get stuck on that. Don't get stuck on that. Just think love, but a high vibrational love. Now, why is this love better than the last love? You. The work you've done on yourself. Because you're willing now to tell yourself the truth. If you feel it's wrong, you're now not moving forward because you're trusting your intuition. And I just have to say, with the energy that your guides put in my mind about the universe really pulling you into alignment with what is meant to be. Wow, I feel like this is meant to be. It doesn't mean it has to be. But look at this. Why would I not want that? Now, let's say you're in an existing relationship, but not with the Seven of Swords. This could certainly be the strengthening of that love. These two have chemistry that is undeniable. And some of you, with the Six of Cups, first of all, Six of Cups talks about nostalgia. Some of you may know who this is. But I also feel past lives, and it may be both. So let's say there's someone who's been on your mind. Well, this would be someone who, when you think about them, happy thoughts come to mind. But I'm really feeling past lives more than anything. Okay. All right. Well, let's pick that up. So I love that we just got the world. That means action time, right? What Mother Mary asked for. I almost want to skip over that Seven of Swords. And I think I am. I'm going to go up to the Hangman. Seven of Cups, but in reverse. Interesting. Seven of Cups is you making a choice. I often feel it can be during a chaotic time because some of the cups can talk about chaos, but still like trying to choose a cup in chaotic energy, but it's reversed. Calm. Just what I felt from the very get-go. Calm energy. This person carries calm, at least for you, calming energy. And notice how my voice just went down. Again, the ball is in your court. For some of you, that might be a little scary. Like, can I trust myself to make the right decision? Well, here's the thing. This is being guided to you. Why? because it is its divine time. And yes, you do have free will, so you can say no. But because it's coming over the hangman, where you are seeking spiritual wisdom on what to do, and then we have the hangman over here, I feel like you'll make, well, you'll make the decision that's right for you, is what I feel. I want to say you'll say yes, but again, two free will energies. But let's go and look at, whoa, look at that baby, came off the table. Oh my God. Libra. Wow. Literally flew off the table. Like, pay attention to me. And it was face up, by the way. Love. Unconditional. Probably of many lifetimes. But let me tell you something. Spirit is also telling me this is a love of what you do. This is not just romance. This is love of many different forms in your lifetime. Your creative house. Some of you will be working from home. You're going to love it. Some of you are taking new jobs or beginning new businesses. And you're going to love it. Doesn't mean it'll be easy. But I feel like your interest will be piqued. So you can't help but follow it. And lo and behold, you may end up with a brand new business. Now, as love goes, because this is coming over the final outcome, and I have to say potential final outcome because of free will. But look at that. The Knight of Cups, the Ace of Cups. You're holding that cup, the star, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. The Hangman now in the awakened state. Have you loved in the awakened state yet? Do you know how good it can be? Listen, even existing relationships, if you are both on this spiritual quest, then just expect a relationship to grow and grow. And no, I am not talking about the Seven of Swords. I feel like that is what's been draining you. Can I just thank your guides for what I feel like is quite not only the message they gave me before the reading, but then to see it actually happen. Not that I'm surprised, but I love it. I love the synchronicities. Like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when it comes for you? Some of you gonna say yay. I am really not feeling anyone's gonna say no. Especially if you feel like, your intuition's getting stronger and stronger and you're trusting it above all else. Then that means that you are really learning how to read energy, which means you can read people's energy. I feel like the person in the Seven of Swords, and listen, I've dealt with these type of people. I married one, right? Oh my God, you're so beautiful. How'd I get so lucky to end up with you? Will you be my wife? Blah, 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 blah. Yes, I'll marry you. And then 6 months later, his best friend comes over and tells me, hey, I just saw your husband out cheating. You know what I mean? And that's just the way the rest of the story goes. Him cheating and me having to deal with it until I couldn't deal with it anymore. So, what I'm trying to say though is if that energy walked into my door today, I would know it. You would know it. That's what your guides are saying. You would feel it. And you want to trust that instinct. Because for some of you, there may be this person making one more repeat appearance. And you're going to have to make that decision. And it kind of does feel like a universal test, but one I feel like you can pass with flying colors. December is fated. That's what your spirit guides told me. This month is fated. So whatever is happening in this month is meant to happen. Now, let's say this Knight of Cups doesn't come in December, though I kind of feel it will. But it could be just the beginning of it. Remember, the Fool came over it. So this is not about rushing, though I do feel, because we also saw the Lovers, like the chemistry is going to be undeniable. And there is no right or wrong. If you want to move quickly, move quickly. But for those who still have a little fear in their heart, that's where I take it slow. Allow someone the time to reveal who they truly are. But I also want you to trust your own energy because your guides are saying that your intuition has grown leaps and bounds. And this is why you're seeing so much higher vibrational energy now coming into your life and you coming into another's life. But listen, and it's not just about love. It's like I don't want to take away the energy of loving what you do. So whoever shut down that creative house, man, I feel like a day will come there, like you won't know this, but they'll be like, yeah, I used to be in love with them, or they used to love me. And look at them go. But it's like your spirit guides are like, but don't pay that any mind. You just keep moving forward. Allow those healing abilities to come up also, because this may be a period of time, and I'm not talking just for December, I'm talking from this day forward, where you may have people just naturally coming to you for advice. And by the way, if you notice, like, all of a sudden, all these people are coming to me for advice, I feel like that's your spiritual clue that would be a great avenue for you to take, like for a business or to add into an existing business. No matter what, you're having the most tremendous spiritual growth. You have the most beautiful love. And this all started with your soul seeds of intention. And divine, I feel like, is simply saying that what has been draining you, let it go now. And that opens up what is new. And look what is new. Libra, I am late with your reading, but can I tell you, this reading is right on time. I feel it in my spiritual bones. And I'm going to let it be now. I'm going to let it be. All of a sudden, I just feel like I got to let it be now. I thank you. I love you. I cannot wait to read your comments. Because I know people are going to be at different places. And that's the thing. That's why you want to go into a reading with your intuition. Where are you in this reading? That'll tell you. You know what I mean? Like if I'm still connected to what's draining me, Well, I'm not going to go on and on. Because I don't want to take the beauty away from this reading because this is quite the beautiful reading, but this is what's meant for you. It's meant for you. I love you. I love your guides and my guides because they work together. And I thank you. I feel like I want to thank you for the honor of reading for you. This feels that special. So, we'll let that be. I'll see you next time at our table. Please leave me those comments like I'm just dying to hear them. All right. I love you. Bye-bye.